Zlatan Ibrahimovic is an interesting character, to say the least, and we want to pay homage to that by bringing you the best Zlatan Ibrahimovic quotes, courtesy of The Mirror. So we're just going to dive straight into it, because Zlatan, for me, is one of my favourite characters to look at. So first, let's start on this one. Reporter: you've got some scars on your face, Zlatan. What has happened? Zlatan responded, well, I don't know. You'll have to ask your wife about that. Jason, what's your response to that first comment?
Don't ask Zlatan stupid questions.
Well, that is actually one of his responses as well before, is don't ask Zlatan stupid questions, you'll get stupid answers.
Yeah, it seems like that. I love this man.
Yeah, he knows how to handle the media. I know you compare him.
He's actually, I shouldn't love him because he has a man bun, and I'm heavily anti-man bun.
Oh my God, I can hear the buns united right now.
People, it's a fad. It's not going to be around forever. But he's the only one who can come on TYT Sports with a man bun. I tried to Photoshop bro tips out of our last discussion, which did not turn out too well. But
all right, let's continue with the next quote from Zlatan. We're going to look at some of the best. What Carew does with a football, I can do with an orange. And that's in reference to John Carew, a Norwegian footballer who was very good at what he did, very talented, very intricate in his touch, but no one has as good a touch as Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
So is that what? So they're referring to the touch because an orange is much smaller than a football, soccer ball.
Yes, and it
makes it more difficult.
It's harder, but according to rumour, Ronaldo, Roberto Carlos, Ronaldinho, the old Brazilian generation of just amazing ability, used to practice with tangerines. And that's how they developed this touch. This is an old rumour. I'm not sure how much substance there is to it, but I would like to believe it. If you've seen what those players could do with a ball, it wouldn't surprise me if they could do it with a tangerine.
Well, I love tangerines, so that's a good way to practice.
Would you eat it instead of practicing it?
I'd probably sit there eating the tangerines, yeah.
All right, continuing on. Zlatan, what else you got? This one for me is a little hard to believe, but if it is Zlatan, so...
Suspend your disbelief, people. It's worth it.
Arsene Wenger asked me to have a trial with Arsenal when I was 17. I turned it down. Zlatan doesn't do audition.
Jason wishes he could speak in the third person as well as Zlatan Ibrahimovic does.
There's a certain amount of people in this world who can speak in third person perspective, and it is Chris Keller from One Tree Hill, if you're a One Tree Hill fan.
That's the first one?
Yeah.
No, please, round out your list. I need to hear this.
All right, so Chris Keller. And then Zlatan Ibrahimovic definitely could. Alex Turner from the Arctic Monkeys, the coolest musician alive. He could definitely do it if he wanted to. And Ryan Seacrest.
No. Oh, my God. I don't even need to debate your list. I don't need to debate that.
All right, moving on. So I want to know your list, but we'll talk about it.
I'm trying to formulate anything in my head. I just can't get over the idea that your list contains a guy from One Tree Hill, Ryan Seacrest, the Arctic Monkeys, I'll give you that, and Zlatan, it's just all over the place. We can just do really simple. Morgan Freeman can speak in the third person if he wants to.
Yeah, well, we want to know, the comments can let us know who they would think should speak in the third person, right? I'm sure they're better than Chris Keller from One Tree Hill, but I'm a big One Tree Hill fan.
Onward with the next Zlatan quote.
All right. Can you read me the next Zlatan quote?
I can.
Let's see.
It was the fault of, help me out here, Francis.
David Trezeguet.
Trezeguet, who made me do one drink of vodka after another. I slept in the bathtub. Now I hold my vodka much better. So this is Zlatan obviously being, he's in retrospect, he's learned. He's learning how to handle his liquor. And you think Zlatan, who's like 6'4",
I think, or 6'5", maybe.
Big man, 6'4", 6'5", big man would be able to handle that, but he's learning his lessons. This just reminds me, by the way, if anybody's watching House of Cards, it's not a spoiler alert, but there is a scene with Kevin Spacey, who plays Francis Underwood, the President of the United States, in the show, where they bring in the Russian president, and he makes him drink tons of vodka.
Yeah.
So.
A big guy like that, the good thing about that is he's so personable, because most players who are in the spotlight consistently wouldn't come out and tell you a story about when they were drunk with another world star, David Trezeguet.
It seems like Zlatan isn't afraid to say anything.
At all. And that is definitely represented in the next quote, which is another favourite of mine. We are looking for an apartment in Paris. If we not find anything, then we will just buy a hotel. And he's got very similar similarities to the likes of Balotelli, who I think tries to hold himself in the same regard, but has nowhere near the same ability as Zlatan Ibrahimovic in my own perspective. So when you can back it up with some of the most atrocious demonstrations of football and ability, you can say basically what you want, in my perspective, as long as it's within
Is atrocious the word you were looking for?
It is atrocious. It's almost so like when something's so good, it's kind of like frighteningly good. Some of the things that Zlatan Ibrahimovic did.
So I guess it'd be the same as saying like here we'd say like that was sick.
Yes, exactly. Because you're not sick.
It's not unhealthy.
Yes, it's not unhealthy. But it makes you question how good it is to find a good word for it. So you just go into the bad word, like that's bad.
When you type in Zlatan on YouTube, the first thing that pops up is his bicycle kick.
Yes, and his back heels, numerous of them, and his overhead kick. His overhead kick against England.
They call it cheeky.
Yes, he's cheeky.
Very cheeky.
He's a very cheeky player. So moving on with the final few comments from him. What Zlatan bought his wife for her birthday? Nothing. She already has Zlatan. Picture this, Jason. My girlfriend comes up to me for the anniversary. I'm a TYT Sports anchor, and she says, "What are you going to get me for your anniversary?" Nothing. You already have Francis.
You already have Francis.
It just doesn't fit right.
No.
It's going to get me a dish round the head, whereas Zlatan, she's probably like, you know what, you're right, by the way.
I have Zlatan. That's all I need in my life. Well, is a 6'4" monstrosity.
Yes, exactly, with a man bun. So to honour Zlatan, we'll finish it with, his, in my perspective, his best quote, and it is when describing his one-on-one situation with another player. He says, "First I went left, he did too. Then I went right, and he did too. Then I went left again, and he went to buy a hot dog."
You mentioned on Let's Talk Tactics in regards to Lionel Messi.
Yes.
That if you gave him space, let Messi do whatever he wants with that space. If he wants to go over here, he can go over here. If he wants to pass it over to the left, great. If he wants to go buy himself a hot dog, he can go buy himself a hot dog.
And that's what I think I took that from Zlatan, because the best players not only can send their opponents to get hot dogs, they can get food and drinks whilst playing because they're that good. They could probably do it in that space of time. It's a little bit.
What do they call that in soccer? Because in basketball, right? If you wicked crossover, Allen Iverson known for some of the
ankle breakers.
Yeah, broken ankles.
Yes.
Taken to school. What is that the same? Do you break soccer players' ankles? Or is that a sore subject because you could actually tackle people in soccer?
Well,
and break
no,
their ankles?
there is a very similar description of it. Like breaking ankles is something. Oh, I broke his ankles because I turned him inside and out, or I sold him because you. And there's plenty of good ones. We could probably do a clip on that. Like if you're cheeky and you're playing and you beat someone, you go up to them after it and be like, "Here's your ticket." They'd be like, "What? Ticket to back in the game? You just sold yourself out." Like that's
not bad.
That's some of the favorites. So
I would need many tickets to get back into the game.
You need a full book.
I would need season tickets to get back into the game.
All right, awesome. Guys out there, supporters, fans, TYT Sports fans, make sure to leave your comments in the section below. Let us know your favourite Zlatan moments and maybe your favourite comments that you say to your opponent after you sell them with a sick move. I did that. All right, come back to TYT Sports. Plenty more from me and Jason talking about all the subjects you want to hear.